Alright, so Chris Hemsworth was recently featured in a more dates, more plates, more plates, more dates, more dates, more plates, eat dates, get plates, more dates, more plates, more plates, more dates, more dates, more plates, eat dates, get plates, get dates. If you don't know who More Dates, More Plates is, go check out his YouTube channel. He does say some good things, but also has a bit of, I don't know, for the record, I was the first person on YouTube to do Natty or not videos way back in 2010, 2011. There's another guy as well around the same time, Louis Marco, was doing some as well. So it's a bit of fun. But More Dates, More Plates, Greg Doucet, they've really taken up and they've done really well with their channels, etc. So, but I just want to chime in with Chris Hemsworth. A lot of More Dates' players, Derek, his name is More Dates, More Plates. His audience is saying that you can't eat carbs and be as lean as Chris Hemsworth. I'm as lean as Chris Hemsworth. Obviously, my dosage is a lot lower, but you can be, man. You can eat 1,000, 1,500 grams of carbs a day and be shredded. Look at me. Look, I'm shredded, bro. Even on D-Bowl, my face pretty much look like this. You know what I mean? Like legit D-Bowl. Like high quality. Prescription Anadrol. Face still like this. It's the fat. These young people. There's people out there doing these carb restriction diets and they blow out and yo-yo. It's no wonder these people think, oh, you can't. Like they're sincere but sincerely wrong. Sincere but sincerely wrong. Look at back. I just came off a D-Bowl cycle. Look at back at some of my videos in October, September. Look at my face. You know what I mean? Like, you would not pick it. You would not pick it. Prescription grade Anadrol, same thing. Prescription testosterone, prescription Anavar. My face doesn't explode because I eat around 10 grams of fat a day. That is the huge, huge, huge secret. Cali Muscle just had a heart attack. Cali Muscle, one of the OG fake, semi-fake natties out there. Actually, he claims natty, so we'll call him a fake natty. Had a heart attack, man. 100% clot blockage on one of his arteries. 100%, I don't know about that, but either way, in hospital, all those fried chicken meals, all that fatty, greasy, cholesterol-laden food catching up. I ate so much meat before I was a vegan 20 years ago. I'm like, man, I'm lucky I'm not. I wouldn't. I mean, if I had a heart attack tomorrow, it wouldn't surprise me the amount of grease I used to put down, thinking, oh, I could just burn it off. You can burn it off, but it's still damaging your endothelium cells. All right, so, and it is very hard to burn off all that fat, especially when you keep going to training, burning fat, and then coming home and eating fat. And it's like basically going, oh wow, I really stink. I got a lot of BO on me. So you go and have a shower, freshen up, and then you put really stinky clothing back on. So what? Go and burn the fat from exercise, then come home and eat more fat. Oh, but it's healthy fat. Oh, but it's healthy BO. So what are you doing? So, Cali Muscle, another guy, Sean Roden, dead from a heart attack, But then, I mean, there's a few conspiracy theories going on there. We said, I'll see you on the other side on Instagram. So I was like, did he end, who knows? Did he end himself? Or, I mean, it's unfortunate because he's got a daughter and he's got family. So, we've got to think of those people as well. This is the reality. If you're going to use anabolics, and I say don't use steroids. If you're a woman, using steroids is very dangerous. A contraceptive pill, look it up. Look up blood clots contraceptive pill. Look up breast cancer contraceptive pill. A lot of the girls, not a lot, but a few of the girls I knew 20, 30 years ago who were on the pill, died, dead. Breast cancer, cervical cancer, uterine cancer, ovarian cancer. Was it the pill? Blood clots. So, I mean, I think it's really wrong that young women get put on steroids at age 14 or 15. Oh, you want to need a birth control? Here, has steroids. Let's shut down your own progesterone and testosterone production. Let's shut it down and give you synthetic hormones, even though you're a perfectly functioning young lady, young girl, 14, 15, 18, 20, 25, young girls. We're putting them on steroids and shutting them down. It's just like, boom. Crazy. Oh, how you don't know what it's like to have a teenage daughter? Well, my girlfriend's pretty much a teenager, you know what I mean? Natasha. And I get to have her at her peak physical form. Peak specimen. Not any birth control at all. We go hit it raw, bareback, balls deep. When she's ovulating, it just feels so good. It feels amazing. I've had a vasectomy, so zero protection. I've never used a rubber in 3 years from Natasha. You know what I mean? It's like wow, what? It's hilarious. These people out there using... I mean, God, people out there, you know, and I troll a little bit, but it's true. You know, it is true. Why are we giving girls these hormones? It's insane. It's insane. I disagree with it. That's my opinion. I disagree with it. But let's talk about men and steroids. People are like, oh, but, you know, steroids for men is bad. Does Chris Hemsworth look like he's having any issues right now? I mean, besides, like, fitting in all the married women who want to have him for the weekend and ditch their husbands for the weekend, you know? Like, so I think if you're going to do anabolics, people, definitely do a vegan, high-carb, low-fat lifestyle. Or as close to it as you can. As close to that as you can, okay? You don't have to tell any friends. Oh, what if I go vegan and people... You can lie about it like you lie about your steroids. You know, you can be a fake natty, you can be a fake vegan, just be eating vegan. Besides, I had meat before I came here. I was going to eat some vegetables and rice and fruit. I'm all good. I had some sausages before I came and went to Denny's and had Popeye, whatever. When at Popeyes, I had a Popeye chicken fried sandwich, heart attack grill stuff. They called it the heart attack grill for a reason. Heart attack grill. So people say, Hardy can do a video about these bodybuilders dying from heart attack recently. Is it from the old clot shot thing? Who knows? You know what I mean? We don't know what's going on with that. We don't know what's going on in that long term. Could be fine, could be less than fine. We don't know. Am I into experimental medications? Am I into experimental medications? Well, I wonder what the answer to that one is. Damn. Far out, man. And these kids out there doing SARMs and like buying stuff off the internet, like injecting stuff and just like SARMs. I'm just like, what is in that, man? That's experimental medication. SARMs? What happens in 20 years' time? Who knows? I'm all for experimentation, but I'm more into things that I know are very safe. Okay? Why would I take my handlebars off? Why would I take my hands off the handlebars at 100k an hour on my bike? That's an experiment, but I don't think it's safe. You know. But anyway, what I'm going to say is don't do steroids, in my opinion. It goes to concentrated pill, goes to testosterone, etc. Now, again, there might be an asterisk there. What if you've lost your nuts? Motorbike accident. What if you've lost your ovaries? And you got not enough hormones coming through. Now, okay, there's exceptions. I'm just saying in general, I would do as much homework as possible before you made the jump. See Chris, you go to the movies, you see Chris Hemsworth, look at your girlfriend, and she's just like looking at Chrissy boy on the screen. You notice when she steps up, there's like this puddle on the thing, you know. And you're like, man, I'm gonna get on the gas, I'm gonna get big and swole like Chris boy. Fair call, fair enough. A lot of guys do that. But do your homework. Do your homework. I remember talking to this lady a few months back, and she's like, oh, steroids, you use steroids, do you? I said, yeah. She's like, oh, you know. And I'm like, oh, yeah, she started like full judging me. I was like, that's cool. I'm open to being judged. And she's like, oh, that's not good. And I said, who's your favourite Hollywood celebrity? She goes, oh, well, that's probably Chris Hemsworth. And I was like, you think he's natural? Oh, yes, he's got a trainer. He's got a nutritionist. And I said, well, and maybe Santa Claus exists. Maybe Santa Claus does exist. I don't have any proof Santa Claus exists. Do you have any proof? And she got dark, you know. It's okay. And, but yeah, just people out there, the naiveness. You know, these people think that Greg Douchet only takes 140 milligram a week of TRT, HRT. I'm just using HRT. Every day, 140 milligram maybe, in my opinion. So it is astounding out there how much people are uneducated. But I would say what people are doing is they're like, I want that Chris Hemsworth physique, and then they get on the gas and they can get that result. It's like not too hard. If you put the work in, etc., and consistent and get good quality stuff, I'm not saying you should, but that's how it's done. But they don't understand what can happen with that. The emotional stuff and the attention and the criticism. And if you want to be a fake natty and lie about it and take it to the grave and lie to everyone, your family, your partner, your girlfriend, your wife. Most guys who use steroids lie about it to their girlfriends, have no idea. No idea. And their wives have no idea. And I understand why they lie, because we're like, oh, I shouldn't do. Okay. I'd just rather be honest and open about that topic. Because there's a zillion and one fake natties out there. And I wouldn't want to be with a woman who wants that aesthetic, but then is going to judge you for what it takes to get that aesthetic. You know, that's just like stupid. That's like a guy saying, "Hey, baby, you know, dye your hair blonde. I like blondes or brunettes or whatever." And then he finds out you've dyed your hair blonde. He's like, "Oh my God, you dyed your hair! Like, don't use that. Don't do that." So, you know, it's just how it is. And that's fine. People use steroids for aesthetics. I get it. It definitely works. I'm not saying you should do it, but definitely the women in your life will like you more, for sure, as long as you're stable, not losing your chops. And that's what the thing is. A lot of guys use too much, or they're doing one shot a week, and it's just their levels are up and down, and their mood's up and down. The woman's like, he looks better, but man, his moods, he's like a little teenage bitch now. What's going on here? So that you're losing frame with that. But I would say do the homework. It's a great podcast out there called Steroids Podcast by Dan, bodybuilding Thailand. You got a lot of people there. Is it Jordan Oakley? Guys out there. Victor Black has a great podcast, some great videos. He's an Australian, lives in Thailand. So I think people got to educate themselves at least a few years of study, in my opinion, of talking to people like Victor Black, Danny Bodybuilder in Thailand, people who are transparent to say, this is how it is. And so you can just have an understanding. So if you go into that rabbit hole, which is pretty much for life, you know, because once you're in there, once you get the benefits, once you get that sensation, you're never going back natty again. You know, you ain't ever going back natty again unless you enjoy that natty life. So it's pretty crazy, man. It is pretty crazy. And you can do it very, very safely if you're educated, if you're getting prescription grade stuff from your local family doctor, things like that. But I'd say don't do it. I would say don't do it because most people aren't going to put the work in to educate themselves, like really educate themselves and talk to people who have been on this path for many, many years, even decades. Transparent people. I'm not talking fake natty, half-truthers like Greg Douchet and etc. I just use TRT, HRT, and it's like, yeah, cool. Or guys like Vigorous Steve who just say, I just 120 milligram a week's all you need, and go from, like, you know, it's just like, come on, man, that's not what you did. You absolutely blasted the crap out of your body with injectables. And so did you, Greg. You know, this whole, like, just HRT, I'm natural, I'm the mutant. It's like, I find it entertaining, but I'm like, man, you're just bullshitting people, man. You're just bullshitting. Only when I went up to over 500 milligram a week did people start saying, hey, now you actually look like you may be using steroids. Before I couldn't really tell, but now something about you. So it is quite hilarious, and that's prescription grade stuff. That's not fake UGL cheap crap. This is the real deal. You know, it's quite interesting out there. That's people, man. I can't believe these people are coaching people, and you know, it's almost like they don't want you to get the results they've got. They want you to constantly be in awe of, like, wow, you know. It's like me as a cycling coach telling people, you know, 40 cadence is best. 40 cadence is best. And then we go out training together, and I'll sit at 40, and I just blow your doors off in a 1 minute surge. As soon as I get in the corner, I go back to 90 cadence, and then power on, keep going up top, and then, you know what I mean? And then you come to the top of the mountains, like, yeah, I dropped it down to 20. I dropped it down to 20 cadence. That's what I did, you know. Oh, durianrider, you do 20 cadence at 400 watts or 300 watts? Wow, man, you're just, durianrider, yeah, one day you'll be like me, one day. You know, just that bullshitting people. Yeah, I just use 120 milligram a week, man. That's, you know, just 120 milligram a week. But maybe 200, you know, sometimes. It's like, man, you're just bullshitting people. There's people out there saying, just TRT. If you're doing TRT, you're going to look very, very normal. It's going to be very, very hard to pick unless there's like a clear before and after progress pick. You know, most people do a TRT will not look any different. A couple kilos extra, maybe, you know. But for most people, gaining a couple kilos, unless you like look like a marathon runner, it's not going to be noticeable at all. You know, especially if you're cold and if you got fat on you, and you start doing gear, looks like you just got fatter, sort of thing. That's why I wouldn't recommend most people use it, because most people are overweight, and you know, you're basically shutting down yourself for something where your goal is you're 100 kilos and you want to lose weight. And it's like, why would you use anabolics, man? Why would you do that? If you're 60 kilos, want to go up to 80 with just pure muscle like I've done, then yeah, I can get it. But if you're like fat, if you got to get a gut, don't use, in my opinion, do not use anabolics. Like, eat low fat, like lean out, you know. to an extent, obviously, But that, again, it's personal differences, personal things. If you do want one-on-one coaching, join my coaching group at durianrider.com. We can dive down the rabbit hole a lot better. But for most people, I'd say definitely don't do it because of side effects for some people, like hair thinning or mood swings, or if you're fat, eating a lot of fat, you get gyno, you get like man boobs. For some guys do get that, and it's just cosmetic. But for some guys, man, they cannot handle that. They cannot handle that. So if you can't handle where you're at now, what happens if you go worse? Just cosmetic, If you're bald with man boobs, it doesn't make you a bad person. You know what I mean? Like that's very common out there in society. But if you didn't have that to start with, and then you end up with that, for some people who their aesthetics everything, then you're gonna be in a pretty bad place mentally, aren't you? But if you're in that place now, you're like, I don't care. I'm just like that guy, bald and bankrupt, that vlogger, whatever's, then that's fine. You can be good to go. He does have some interesting videos, doesn't he? You seen Bold and Bankrupt? You got some interesting videos. But that's the deal there. Chris Hemsworth, more dates, more plates. You can definitely be that lean on that much carbohydrate. I mean, look at me. Look how skinny and ripped and lean. Like my face, you can see the folds of skin, the leanness, just like the perfect punchable face jawline, jaws sizing. You're lean. Under 10 grams of fat a day just leans you out. Now, obviously, if I want to get up to 90 kilos, I'm going to have to increase the fat. Because when you increase the fat, you increase your fasting insulin. I'll have to decrease the carbs a bit, increase the fat. Because when you fill up on carbs, you got no much room for less for the fat. You know what I mean? What I've been is carbohydrate. I mean sugar. I eat sugar, white rice, fruit, corn, steamed potatoes. Adding in fat, tofu, bit of oils, increase insulin, make you hold a bit more water weight and muscle and fat as well. So, but yeah, it's once you increase the carbohydrate to get extra fat in, it's very, very hard. Once you understand what's going on with your nutrition. But it opens up a whole Pandora's box. People out there saying, I can't get lean, I can't lose weight, I can't get lean, I can't lose body fat. I should say, I can't lose body fat. And I'm like, because you're eating so much fat, man. Or you're on certain medications like SSRIs or whatever that's just holding all this weight on you. Or you're sneaking, all this fatty food when no one's looking. And that's okay. Well, it's not okay, but it's okay. It's understandable. But you're not going to get your goals, man. Like, as a coach, when people lie to me like that, oh, I'm doing your program. And I was like, dude, you look like you ate someone who's doing my program. You're not doing my program for the last 3, 4, 5 years or months. You're not, man. Look at you. You know what I mean? You look like you ate someone who did my program. There's no way you can be that heavy and fat on fruit, rice, and sugar. There's no way. Stop bullshitting me. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with the man when it comes to nutrition, and we can help you better. I've trained thousands of people since '96. I know when someone's BSing me, and that's okay. I don't get angry. I just like, come on, man. There's a spider here. We'll take this little spider out. That's the end of the video. Chris Hemsworth, definitely that lean on as many carbs. You got to carb up, man. Otherwise, you're going to fat up, and then you got to really fatten up. The fat you eat is the fat you wear. By increasing your carbohydrate, you can decrease your fat intake massively. You just will.